welcome to Brian Rides Triumphs, and welcome to my home. Please ignore my attire. I'm dressed like a scruff because I've been working in the garage and stuff. Today I've got a day off before we leave for a kind of few days break tomorrow, me and the wife. So this is the long-awaited Datatool S4 Red system recall. Everybody thinks that the S4 system Red, the way to fix it is to take a hammer to it. There's another way that this can be done. And these are my emails back and forward to Datatool or Scorpion Automotive, as they go by as well. So in February I bought a Triumph Tiger 1200 Explorer. The bike had a couple of niggles, and the dealer I bought it off said just take it to a bike shop and get it fixed. So I took it to a local bike shop, Lakeland Motorbikes. They put a new throttle body and stepper motor on, all fixed and paid for by Steve Bateman Superbikes. Hats off to that guy. Dealers don't have to give you a warranty on a second-hand bike, and that guy stood up on the plate and he took it and he paid for that bike to be fixed with the throttle bodies and the stepper motor, which apparently is a common fault on Triumphs. So another fault, that when the bike shop fixed it, they started the bike up, they took it for a test run, they brought it back, went to restart it the day after to take it for another I just can't get these words out. It's easy for me to say. Another test ride, sorry. So they took it for went started up, the bike cut out. Started it up, the bike cut out, which was similar to the first problem. Only when the stepper motor was gone, there was a buzzing and stuff going on as well. So John from Lakeland Motorbikes phoned Steve Bateman and said that the immobiliser on the alarm was cutting in and knocking the bike off. Now, really, Steve Bateman just said cut the alarm off and job's a good one. John phoned me and says, Steve's told us just cut the alarm off and that'll be it. But then the bike's got no alarm. So I was like, fair dues, he's paid for that. The alarm I'll sort out myself. So I was Googling what the fault could be with the immobiliser on the S4 System Red alarm, and apparently it was a common fault, and I stumbled across Google, the glasses are going on because I'm pretty much blind really. I stumbled across a recall that was done probably back in nearly a decade ago, so about kind of 2014, 15-ish. And it was Scorpion Automotive Limited, owner of Datatool brand, has announced an important safety recall on the Datatool S4 Red series alarm. As part of the ongoing product evaluation, it has become apparent that a limited number of Datatool S4 Red alarms, also sold on the Triumph approved accessory alarm system, may suffer operational issues which ultimately lead to the motorcycle becoming immobilised, which is what mine done. Now there's a lot more to that, but pretty much the top and bottom of it was a safety recall. So a bit more and ahhing as to what to do. I'm just throwing the paperwork on the floor because I haven't got a table to put it on. I thought I'll email Datatool about my alarm, and I issued them the product code off the alarm, which was sorry, I'm going to say a lot while I get stuff. It was the serial number. You need the serial number for the alarm. Now it can be found on the alarm, so if you haven't got the card, the installation card that come with the bike, just look on the alarm and the serial number will be on there. So I sent Datatool my serial number to support, and I emailed them and I gave them the serial number, and the answer they gave back was quite vague, saying that the Datatool S4 system red alarm is no longer available, it's discontinued. So I emailed back and said that wasn't the question I asked. The question I asked was my alarm part of that recall? And again issued them with the serial number. At which point someone else answered back and kind of said that the same thing, the alarm was discontinued. There is a way around it, you can fit a bypass plug on it. But the bypass plug does away with the alarm. That is not a recall. To me, that's not a fix. So I said to them that's not good enough. And I asked for the codes, I asked for the numbers when the alarm, the recalls for the alarm, which ones were affected. And as it turned out, if you look on your serial number on your alarm, you've got like a load of numbers, then a dash, and then it starts with numbers again. And mine started 3915, which is part of the recall. I'm going to give you the numbers. It's mixed up in all this paperwork, but I will find it. So I said that wasn't good enough, and I found online the identity numbers of these alarms that were affected, and mine was part of it. So I then emailed him again and said mine was part of the recall. It was a safety recall, and I want the alarm fixed. And their reply to this was, I want to ensure you're not left without a suitable resolution. So I'd like to offer you two options going forward. Option one, free bypass plug. We can supply a bypass plug free of charge, but on previous emails they told me I could buy that plug on their website. Now you shouldn't have to buy that plug because it's a recall. So it should have been offered to all owners free of charge if they wanted to take that option. I advise strongly against it. So I'll recap all that. We can supply a bypass plug free of charge. This is the quickest and most straightforward way to fully disable the alarm unit and allow the bike to operate without immobilization issues. To clarify, the bypass plug is considered a legally acceptable resolution. That's a lie. That is a total lie. If you bought a microwave from your local store and took it in with a fault under a recall, a safety recall, and they offered you a blender as a replacement, would you take it? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't take it because it's not the item you bought. It's not the item that was on the bike. So they put as an acceptable resolution to the recall issue as it completely deactivates the defective functionality, the immobilizer, and removes the associated safety risk. Yes, it does. We're not going to argue that it does. But then you're left with a bike you've paid thousands of pounds or dollars for with no alarm, meaning you've declared that alarm on your insurance, so you got your insurance cheaper. The bike no longer has that alarm, and therefore, if that bike's stolen, your insurance will be void, nil. That's it. I have to catch back up to where I was. Maybe it's a safety risk. It ensured the bike starts reliably with no risk of cutting out or sudden loss of power. The vehicle remains roadworthy and no part of the bike's core safety or mechanical operation is compromised by using the plug. No, it's not. Nothing's compromised by using the plug apart from the bike has no alarm and the insurance will be void if you've stated that alarm is on that bike, which being a Triumph, if you're on a Triumph, the insurance company asks you which alarm that bike's got. So, option 2, I say I appreciate having an active alarm, as I'd already stated in one email. An active alarm immobiliser system is important to you because we're going on a Europe trip. So, actually, I should have. This is the email. This is the email I sent. Sorry, people. I know I'm back and forward. I'm not a very well organised person, and I had to print all the emails off, and it was just like everything was everywhere because there's been that many emails. So I'd sent back, hello Morgan. This is now another guy. Morgan Piers is the head of sales support or technical or something like that. So, thank you for your response. However, bypassing the alarm leaves me with no alarm on quite an expensive machine, which will be crossing Europe this year. I came across the fault whilst travelling in the fast lane of the M6 motorway when the bike lost all power, leaving myself and my wife sitting on the centre barrier until the police come and got us across to the other side. So that was mine, and that option 1 of sending a free bypass plug is the response to that. Sorry, I got them the wrong way around. So option 2, I appreciate having an active alarm immobiliser is important to you, especially with your upcoming European trip. Hey, vive la France. I'd like to offer a current generation as a heavily discounted upgrade, which is the LFA Plus alarm. And they're offering me that at £249.99, including VAT and professional fitting. So they'll fit the alarm for that as well. And when you go on the website, that alarm costs you £499, probably close to $600 in America. So, and then he puts, please let me know how you'd prefer to proceed. So, because I'm kind of limited on time, I took them up on that offer, but you don't have to, because on one of these bits of paper somewhere, there is a detailed explanation of a safety recall in the UK. In the UK, there's no time limit for companies to address safety-related recalls, meaning they are obliged to fix issues free of charge, excuse me, regardless of how sounded Chinese, regardless of how old the product or vehicle is. And here's a more detailed explanation. This is off Google, so you could Google this, safety recalls in UK. What do they mean? So there is no time limit for safety recalls. If a product recall is issued due to a safety issue, the manufacturer is legally obliged to address it, even if the product is very old. The manufacturer's responsibility for the recall is responsible for the recall and will foot the cost of repairs and replacement parts. So it doesn't matter how old your Triumph is at all. If your alarm falls in to the category of being a recall, and I'm going to give you these in a minute, of being a recall, you can go to Datatool and you can ask them to replace that unit. Now, they don't make that unit anymore at all, but yet you can buy them brand new online, but Datatool don't have them. So they must have a unit that plugs directly straight into your plug, but according to them, no. So they offered me the LFA Plus, supposed to be £500, and pushed for a bit of time because we're going to Europe on the bike. So I didn't want to have to go down the route of getting in touch with trading standards and all the rest of it. But if you're not in any rush, that's the route to go. So I got my alarm instead of £500, £499. I got it for £249. They're coming to my house on the 22nd of this month, and that's May 2025, and they're going to fit that alarm on my drive by a professional company for £249. So, on that note, you can push for a free alarm because they've got to replace it. It's not your fault they don't make the alarm anymore, is it? It's not our fault, it's their fault. They knew there was a recall. Maybe they should have stocked up on some units to replace them in case it come down the line years later and bit them on the ass. Now, I've seen people on YouTube when I was Googling to see what was wrong with this. And the people on YouTube were checking them out and smashing them with an alarm, with a hammer. They could have just got in touch with Datatool and went down this route, albeit there were American mostly that done it. So I'm not sure how the rules apply in America, but if it's a safety recall, I would have thought that'd be the same rule as the UK. There is no time limit. But look into that in your country that you're in. So step one, I think I'm going to need this one now. Yeah, right, okay. Step one, identify the serial number. The serial number consists of two 8-digit numbers separated by a hyphen. That's when I said dash. It's a hyphen, apparently. Isn't it? So, e.g., it starts with, I'm getting a bit of glint off the window onto the plastic, so 020. So, it'll be like 02, I'll say it so you understand it. 02000140. And the next digits, the first 8 digits above, before the hyphen, indicates the alarm product code. So the product code for your alarm are the first 8 digits. And the second 8-digit code after the hyphen. What's going on with my talking today, people? I can't get this at all. So the second 8-digit code after the hyphen is the production sequence number. So on mine, it was like 3915 and then a load of numbers. This is the serial number you're looking at. So the serial number on your alarm, ignore the first 8 digits and it's the second 8 digits you want. So the second 8 digits, it's the first 2 digits, first 4 digits of that next lot of 8 numbers that you want, and that's what tells you your code and whether your alarm was recalled. I thought this video was going to take like 5 minutes. It hasn't, has it? I don't know how long we've been here, maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Anyway, it's probably because I keep digressing. So, identify the year of production. The third and fourth digits of the production sequence number after the hyphen indicate the year of production. So when you get to your second lot of, I know you can't see that, but it makes me feel better thinking you can. The second lot of 8 digits, you miss the first 2 numbers, and the second 2 numbers would mean mine's 15. So it would mean my alarm was manufactured in 2015. Now, who the fuck knew that a 2012 Triumph Tiger Explorer would have an alarm on it manufactured in 2015? Don't think your bike or alarm are too old, because my alarm is 3 years younger than my bike. Who knew? Who knew? I thought my alarm wouldn't have fitted into any of these. And it fucking does. Yippee. So my second two digits are 15, so that means my alarm was made in 2015 on a 2012 bike, man. Only certain alarms produced between 2013 and 2016 are subject to replacement. So if your alarm has anything other than 13, 14, 15 or 16 as the third and fourth digits, this recall campaign does not apply. So if yours says something like 3912, then you're not part of these recalls. And I'm going to give you the recall dates just so you know and what they were. If you can hear that noise, that's an alarm going because I've got a print on the bed. So, step 3, identify week of production. The first two digits of the production sequence number identify the week of production. So, this it sounds quite complicated. And to be honest, I'm not the brightest spoon in the rack, but I managed to figure it out. So, I don't think anybody's got a video like this online, or I would have found it because I searched deeper than a gold mine, really, to find stuff out. So, on your second lot of 8 digits after the hyphen, the first two numbers on that line are your production week. And the production week on mine was 39. So your number would start with like, mine was 39.15. So if you were like, your year of production was 13, you'd have something like 39.13 or whatever it is. But I'm going to give you what falls into this recall. I'm sorry about that alarm behind me. It's doing my head in, let alone your head. So it'll go off in a minute. It's just to tell me I need to go and change the colour on the printer. So that'll be another print that's knackered 3 times today. I've tried to do this print and I keep forgetting about it and doing something else. Sorry, digressing, waffle and all that. So the applicable production ranges for these recalls are week 13 to 50 in 2013. So that's week 13 to 50 in 2013. So if you were looking for your production number for that, you will have one of these on here that says your alarm was recalled. In 2014, all alarms were applicable. So if your third and fourth digit on there has a 1-4 on it, then your alarm will have fell into that recall because all alarms applicable week 01 to 51. So it was a full year's production of these alarms. 2015, which mine fell into, all alarms were applicable. So week 1 to 51, the full year run of alarms was recalled. Sorry, I've just 1 second. I'm going to smash my phone. My God. Right, usually it only goes off for like a few seconds and then comes back on. Sorry, people, sorry. And we've only got like a couple of lines left to go on. That would have been it, job done. So, 2016, obviously they had a better run in 2016. And it was week 1 to week 8. That is 2016. So I'll run through them again, just so you know. I'm waving this about, I don't know why, I don't need it anymore. So in 2013, the week was week 13 to week 50. 2014, all alarms were applicable. Every alarm that was made in 2014 was applicable for recall from week 1 to week 51. 2015, all alarms again, everything was applicable, week 1 to 51. And 2016, obviously they sacked the man who was making them and got someone new, was week 1 to week 8, and that was it. So if you want to email them, you can, and the email is service@datatool.co.uk, or you can phone them on it's a UK number that it lists on here. So if you phone them from abroad, it's +44 and it's 01257 249 928. That is that. So I taught my bike, to recap, I taught my bike on a 2012, I'm going to vape while I talk to you. My bike on a 2012, I thought wouldn't have fell into that bracket. But who the fuck knew a 2012 bike would be fitted with a 2015 alarm system? A 2015 alarm system, 3-year younger system on that bike. How? We don't know, do we? We don't know. But don't think your alarm won't be covered. If it's in them dates, you've got a right to get in touch with Datatool, and you've got the right as a safety recall, regardless of what they tell you. You don't need to just listen to some bullshit. You've got rights as a consumer. Remember, you never took a microwave in and come out with a blender. You've taken an alarm that's not working and leaving your bike unprotected, voiding your insurance, and they need to put that right. Even if they offer you heavily discounted like they did me, it was only because I was in a rush to get the bike back under security that I needed the alarm fitted. If you're not in that rush, you push it to the very end and you demand that that alarm be replaced free of charge, because that's your goddamn right as a consumer. Whether you got that alarm free of charge on the bike when you bought it, it doesn't matter if it's 10th hand and you're the last person to have that bike. If that recall has not been done on your alarm, you're entitled to have it done. It's a safety recall on the alarm and it stops you being killed. Simple as. You could be like me, fast lane of a motorway when that bike dies and unable to make it across to the hard shoulder. And then, you, like me and my wife, my kids wouldn't have had parents. We sat on that middle shoulder, middle barrier that runs between all 6 lanes of the motorway until the police arrived, stopped the traffic in order for us to get to that hard shoulder. Don't let that be you. You stand up for what you believe. It's kind of, I know I'm going to get comments saying, well, you never fucking done that, Brian. No, I never. But I had a different circumstance. I needed my bike secured again quickly. My insurance has an alarm stated on it, and it's nil and void. And that even includes if the bike's not stolen. If you crash that bike and you've got no alarm on it, and you've said there's one on, you know them insurance companies are just going to go, fuck you, you never had an alarm on it. And that's it. I'm sorry for swearing, everyone, but shit happens, doesn't it? So I'd like to thank you for watching. If you've watched all the way through, I really appreciate you. Just please hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, I really appreciate you for doing that. If you don't want to subscribe, then fair enough. If this video has helped you, then it's done its job. And I really appreciate you being here. And welcome to my humble abode. I've used this I'm on an Insta360 camera with the dual lenses, but you know that for some reason I can't seem to zoom in when I'm doing the editing on the the 4K lens. So I've used the 360 lens. So it's kind of, yeah, I don't know how good the quality is not as good as the 4K lens, obviously. So I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. I've enjoyed going through it, stumbling my way through it. I thought I was a little bit better prepared. If you've got any questions, if I can answer them, please post them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer your question. I've kept everything I have from Datatool, emails back and forward, and all your fault dates for systems and stuff. So I have them. But that's that. I'd like to thank you again, probably for about the 10th time. But hey, there's never too many thanks in the world, is there really? So I've got the house to myself. So this video was a bit late. The wife's downtown getting her hair done. The kids are, well, I say kids, they're at work in college. And I've got the house to myself. And to be honest, it was a toss up between doing this video or knowing that I've got the house to myself and breaking out the latex fanny and having a wank. And I thought I'll do the video. So the sacrifice I've made for you right now is astronomical. If you watched it this far in the video, thank you. See you again, guys. And when I get back from my little trip, I shall knock another video and see how it goes. Today is Tuesday. This video will probably go live on Wednesday. Due to the YouTube algorithm, I like to keep them sitting for 24 hours. Anyway, I'm waffling, I'm digressing from where we're at. Have a good day, have a good night, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.